Hello, grade 12 learners, and welcome to today's Life Sciences lesson. In this video, we are going to explore the fourth topic of the matrix curriculum, the male and female reproductive systems in detail. This is one of the most important sections of human reproduction, and a firm understanding will help you both in your exams and in building a clear picture of how the human body works. Before we get started, let's begin with getting some basic concepts out of the way. Human cells are diploid, 2N. This means that they have two sets of chromosomes, one from dad and one from mom. It's important for you to know the difference between somatic cells, aka body cells, and sex cells. Somatic cells divide via mitosis, and they do for growth and repair. All cells that are produced are identical. Sex cells, however, are formed via a process called meiosis, which forms haploid gametes. So instead of a cell with a pinch and blue chromosome, you will have on3 with just blue and one with just pink. Looking at the example below, you can see that dad's cells originally had two chromosomes, one from his dad and one from his mom, the same with the mother. Their cells went through meiosis to produce sex cells that only have one chromosome. Please note that in the female eggs, the process is not as simple as depicted in this example, but this helps for you to understand the concept. Out of the four, randomly two will fuse, forming the baby's cell. If meiosis had not occurred, the baby would have four chromosomes instead of two, which would be a huge issue. Therefore, meiosis happens to maintain the chromosome number within a species. Phew! Now that we have gotten that out of the way, let's begin with the male reproductive system. The male reproductive system is designed to do two main jobs: to produce sperm cells, which carry half of the father's genetic information, and to deliver those sperm into the female reproductive system for fertilization. At the center of this system are the testes, which are housed in a pouch of skin called the scrotum. The position of the scrotum is very important. It hangs outside the main body cavity, keeping the testes at a slightly lower temperature than the rest of the body. This is necessary because sperm cannot develop properly at normal body temperature. Their optimum temperature is about 2 to 3 degrees Celsius below the normal body temperature. High temperatures could lead to low-quality sperm or male infertility. The temperature is regulated by pulling the redress closer to the body in cold temperatures and away in warmer conditions. Inside the testes, sperm are produced through a process called spermatogenesis. This takes place in long coiled tubes known as the seminiferous tubules, which is lined with germinal epithelium cells, which produce sorum cells. Some of these cells become serotonin cells, which provide nutrients for the spermatids to become mature sperm. Between these tubules are special cells called Leydig cells, which produce the hormone testosterone. Testosterone is essential not only for sperm production, but also for the development of male secondary sexual characteristics, such as a deeper voice, facial hair, increased muscle mass, and pubic hair. Once sperm are formed, they are not yet fully mature. They move into a structure called the epididymis, which is a long, tightly coiled tube lying along the back of each testis. In the epididymis, sperm are stored and gain the ability to swim. From here, sperm travel through the vas deferens, a muscular tube that carries them upwards and around the bladder. Along the way, several glands add secretions that together form semen. The seminal vesicles contribute a fluid rich in fructose, which provides energy for the sperm. The prostate gland adds a milky fluid that helps neutralize the acidic environment of the vagina, protecting the sperm. The Cowper's glands release a slippery fluid that lubricates the urethra and removes traces of acidic urine before ejaculation. Finally, semen enters the urethra, which runs through the penis. During ejaculation, semen is propelled out through the urethra and into the female reproductive tract. So, to summarize the male system in a simple sequence, the testes produce sperm, the epididymis stores and matures them, the vas deferens transports them, the glands add fluids to create semen, and the penis and urethra deliver them into the female body. Before we move on, let's quickly talk about the sperm cell. This is a sperm cell. It is divided into three parts: the head, middle, and tail. In the head region, we have the acrosome and nucleus. The acrosome has enzymes that dissolve the egg cell walls for fertilization, and the nucleus contains the genetic information 23 chromosomes, 22 autosomes, and one sex cell, either Y for male or X for female. The middle has mitochondria, which provides the cell with energy to swim, and the tail part is just the tail. It helps the sperm cell to propel itself. Testosterone is the hormone that stimulates a diploid 2N, germinal epithelial cell on the seminiferous tubule to undergo meiosis. Each cell will produce 4 haploid spermatids and mature to form a haploid cell. Quick note, you won't be examined or asked to explain this concept, but if it was not already explained in class, I think it would be very useful to understand. Notice how earlier I said we have diploid cells, 1 chromosome from mom and 1 from dad. But now I'm saying a cell has 23 chromosomes. The N in 2N means you can substitute a value into N to get the total number of chromosomes. For simplicity and prevention of chaos, we learn the concepts only drawing 1 chromosome from mom and 1 from dad, where in reality it's 23 from mom and 23 from dad to get the full chromosomal number of 46. Therefore, 223, which is 46 plight. Look at a karyotype. Hopefully this image makes it a little more clear. Just imagine the confusion if we studied meiosis drawing 46 little chromosomes in each cell. Now, let's turn to the female reproductive system, which is more complex because it must perform several roles. It produces eggs, provides a site for fertilization, supports the developing embryo, and finally allows for the birth of a baby. The primary organs of the female system are the ovaries. These are small, almond-shaped structures located on either side of the uterus. The ovaries have 2 main functions. They produce eggs, and they secrete the hormones estrogen and progesterone, which control the menstrual cycle and prepare the body for pregnancy. Each month, one of the ovaries releases a mature egg, or ovum, in a process called ovulation. The egg is then swept into the fallopian tube, also called the oviduct, by tiny finger-like projections known as fimbria. The fallopian tubes are the site where fertilization usually occurs if sperm are present. If fertilization takes place, the zygote begins its journey down the tube towards the uterus, a thick, muscular organ shaped like an inverted pear. The uterus is designed to house and nourish a developing embryo. Its inner lining, called the endometrium, undergoes changes every month under the influence of hormones. It thickens with blood vessels in preparation for a possible pregnancy. If no fertilization occurs, this lining is shed during menstruation. The lower part of the uterus is the cervix, a narrow neck-like passage that opens into the vagina. The cervix plays an important role during childbirth, as it must dilate to allow the baby to pass through. It also produces mucus, the consistency of which changes during the menstrual cycle to either block or facilitate the entry of sperm. The vagina is a muscular canal that serves multiple functions. It receives the penis during sexual intercourse, acts as the passageway for menstrual flow, and later becomes the birth canal during delivery. Its acidic environment helps protect against infections, though this can be a challenge for sperm, which must overcome this hostile environment to reach the egg. In summary, the female reproductive system begins with the ovaries producing eggs, the fallopian tubes serving as the site of fertilization, the uterus providing a nurturing environment for a developing fetus, the cervix acting as a gateway, and the vagina functioning as the entry and exit passage. Diploid germinal epithelium in the ovaries produces follicles via mitosis. Every 28 days, a hormone called FSH causes one cell to enlarge and go through meiosis. 4 haploid cells are produced through this process, but unlike in sperm, only 1 will survive and form a mature ovum. The others 3 degenerate. But we will go deeper into this in the video about the menstrual cycle. This is an egg cell. Together, the male and female reproductive systems form a finely tuned partnership. The male system focuses on the continuous production and delivery of sperm, while the female system is cyclical and prepares each month for the possibility of pregnancy. Both systems are intricately controlled by hormones, which we will explore in more detail when we study the menstrual cycle and fertilization. If you guys would be interested in purchasing my handwritten notes, they are very colorful, helpful, and in good detail. Please let me know in the comments. And that brings us to the end of today's deep dive into the male and female reproductive systems. In our next lesson, we'll move further into the processes of gametogenesis, the menstrual cycle, and fertilization. Make sure to revise the diagrams for both systems, as labeled drawings are a frequent feature in your matrix exams. Thank you for listening, and keep working consistently. Small steps every day build up to exam success. Until next time, happy studying. Good luck with your exams. You've got this. God's got you.